Okay, so let's look at this spread here. I feel that, in the past position, we have the Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups usually indicates a very sincere love offer, but it is coming in from somebody who is potentially naive, who is not aware of, whether or not they have the sustaining power in order to make the relationship work, whether the two people are even compatible enough to make the relationship work. Okay, so that's something that is coming through in the past, which has brought you to this present situation. The present situation is the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is in the reverse position, which indicates to me the end to mental anxieties and worries. Okay, so I feel that for a lot of you, it's a situation where, a new love proposal has come through, and it's the Ace of Cups is crossing it, which indicates to me that new love is what's going to allow you to overcome this mental anguish. All right. So a proposal has happened in the past, and this can be, yesterday, going back 3 months. But I do feel that this is something that is very new, and it has in your mind, your conjuring up, all the potential that it can be. All right. Now, what's crowning this reading is the Queen of Wands, which is your energy. Once again, going back to what I said earlier, I feel as if you feel that, you can, as long as you're the one putting in all the love, all the devotion, all the work, then you feel like, okay, this relationship is going to work, and it is going to be really, really fruitful for me. It's going to help me overcome everything in my life, and everything will be good. And, moving forward, I won't have to worry about a thing. If I just work and work and work and remain faithful and remain devoted, the universe is going to reward me, abundantly. So it is a very, very beautiful mentality that you're taking, and it's a good stance that you're taking when it comes to love and sacrifice and relationships in general. Because, like I said, Leos are very, very good, family caretakers. They are very good, devoted, and just extremely generous relationship partners. But partnerships are innately, they involve two people, and two people have to work at something in order for things to come to fruition. Okay, so that's the first thing. The crowning energy is completely your energy. You're owning this relationship, and you're putting so much work and effort into it. Now, the foundation indicates to me the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, when it's in the reverse position, it can indicate lies and deceptions. Okay, when you're putting in so much of the work and it's not being reciprocated, there is something very innately wrong with the foundation of this relationship. When the foundation is weak, and it indicates, deception, especially, it indicates one-sidedness, and it indicates some information, or a lot of information, a lot of red flags, a lot of warning signs are being overlooked because you are so single-handedly focused on making this work that you're not seeing the clearer picture. Okay, so just be really careful about that, because we do have the Ace of Cups crossing this reading, and the crossing energy is usually the challenge in this spread. It means that, being so emotionally invested in somebody that you care for a great deal, that brings you a lot of emotional just joy and contentment, that you're overlooking all the red flags. And in the past as well, this is a very naive energy. Okay, what's coming in as well is the Page of Coins. And the Page of Coins, usually when I get this card in a reading about a person, it's somebody that is very, they build things of value. However, they kind of go from one shiny object to the next. They go from one person to the next new person that comes into their peripheral vision. So it's not somebody that has sustaining power. Okay, a lot of you in general might be dealing with water signs and earth signs, and water signs and earth signs are very, very I do sense that because they're pages rather than, kings, queens, or knights, that they might not have the sustaining power. Okay, so something for you to think about when it comes to balancing in the relationship, and just balances in the relationship. A lot of you might be in situations where, you might be parents and you're dealing with like children. And I feel that single-handedly, you're putting in a lot of, well, you should as parents, you should, your kids should come first. But I do sense that there are things that might be overlooked here. So for example, if you're going through the day, making sure that they're fed, making sure that, you put a roof over their heads, they're fed, and, you shower them with so much love and affection, and also you spoil them with so many, just a lot of, you give them whatever they want. It can be problematic because it would affect their sense of delayed gratification. It would affect their appreciation in life. It also brings about a false sense of entitlement when they enter relationships in the future, where they feel that they're entitled to everything, where they feel like everyone is going to shower them with unconditional love. So, holding back a little bit when it comes to spoiling children. I'm sensing this very strongly because I don't feel that the children are misbehaving or anything like that. But I feel like you're putting so much pressure on yourself to buy them like the latest toys, the latest accessories, and you're working yourself to the ground. So keeping in mind, keeping things in perspective, like what's really important in life. It's the time, the quality time that we spend with our children, okay? So don't work yourself to the point where, you have to earn that money, but you're absent from their lives. Because honestly, when you talk to children, any child, when they grow up, they're going to remember the times that you spend with them. And they're going to remember, the things the moments that you both share together, either doing a project or doing something together. It's not the toys, it's not, the video games and all of those things. So keep that in mind when it comes to children, because I feel like a lot of you might be single mothers, and I feel that you're putting so much pressure on yourself, to, achieve in terms of, getting your financial base so that you can shower all these toys and all these things and just spoil your kids. And it's not about, the merchandise. It's not about the material things in life. Okay. So just take it easy. Don't put so much unnecessary stress on yourself. I do feel that, Leos are very, very devoted parents. You see the best in your children, and you raise them right, and they become, very moral, meaningful members of society as well. So, but the foundation here is we do have the Ace of Swords. So I'm trying to see where this is going to fit in. And the Ace of Swords, to me as well, also indicates, the mental development. So if you're dealing with children in this capacity, and, if like they have a lot of, everything is taken care of, but their grades are suffering, for example, then that's something you need to address here with the Ace of Swords, okay? So, take care of those children in a holistic manner. Make sure they're developed emotionally, physically, I feel, emotionally, physically, mentally as well. Try to challenge their imagination, and as well try to challenge, their sense of problem solving. So introduce more of those things into their lives, okay? I'm a little bit confused actually about the Ace of Swords here, but let's just go through the rest of the cards and to be able to flush it out. So I definitely feel that, in the process of scrambling to take care of everything, to, be emotionally available and nurturing to everyone, and to also go through your day trying to provide for everyone, I feel that I honestly sense that the initial message that was coming through, you're trying to, be the jack of all trades in your relationship. And I just want you to make sure that the relationship partner that you're with is really worth it, okay? I just want you to really keep that in mind, and especially for Leo women, okay? So just make sure your relationship partner is worth it. So that's I don't feel that things are being reciprocated. I feel that you're putting in so much of the work, and I feel like for Leo men as well, but more so for Leo women, and regardless of what gender you date. If you self-identify as a woman, and I feel like, for Leo women, you're putting in so much work, and just make sure that you're getting the same amount of work back or the same amount of investment from your romantic partner. Okay, is what I'm sensing here. So the foundation to me indicates lies and deception. So that's why I'm bringing this up, because the advice here is the Three of Coins. And the Three of Coins is basically, in this situation, it can be a work deal that has gone wrong. It can be, in a situation where you're working so hard and you're being, you're at that forefront where you're getting paid, and you're basically promised a promotion, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, and it never comes to fruition. So you're slaving away, and with this hope, this promise that you're going to get a better salary, you're going to get better compensation, and it never comes into the picture because there's deception here. Because the terms of the work contract was never ever properly, signed on or agreed upon. Okay, so you're kind of like following the trail of the money, and it leads to like a brick wall, like a dead end. So there's some deception coming in from your environment that you really have to be careful about. And I do feel for a lot of you on the relationship front, you're doing a lot and you're not getting enough in return. So there's some element of cutting your losses, and there's also the element of demanding what it is that you feel you're worth, especially when it comes to money, calling people out on things, because I feel like you're hitting some major obstacles to your success here. You're investing so much, and there are obstacles, and the obstacles are so great that you feel, wow, maybe it's not going to happen to me. Okay, and you feel like, as long as I work hard, I'm a good person at heart. I give my all in all of my interpersonal, social dealings. So why am I hitting like this brick wall? So things are just not going your way so much at this point. Okay. In terms of your external environment, we do have here the Ten of Cups, and it's in the reverse position. So this indicates to me it's a home environment where things are a little bit destabilizing. Okay. In terms of people getting along, I feel like we're dealing with, water and earth energies. So there might be disputes, not seeing eye to eye. There might be lies, deceptions within the home, especially when they pertain to children. So make sure you get the story straight from the lion's mouth. And that means, if someone has told you, oh, your child did this and this, and it's like coming in from an authority figure, you still have to get your child's point of view. Okay, when it comes to any incidences, there are multiple sides to the story, so it's really important to get all the facts straight. So that's what I'm sensing here with your external environment. I do feel that there are some blockages here that are preventing new opportunities from coming through, and I also feel that worries and anxieties could be brought in from other people around you as well, because the Ten of Cups is the dissatisfaction card. When it's in your external environment, it can be people coming in with their problems and their worries, and kind of like dumping their negative energies on you, and you're trying to be the caretaker and the fairy godmother, and you're trying to soothe out everyone's problems and to help them thrive and prosper. So you have to draw back your energy a little bit and not let yourself be everybody's therapist. Okay, because they're dumping a lot of toxic energy on you, and they honestly should try to maintain boundaries with you. So if it's like a co-worker situation, revealing way too much of our personal lives is not a great way to be professional on the work front. So if you're caught in that situation where you're helping everybody else out at your own expense, it can be, you can land yourself in a situation where other people take advantage of your kindness. So just be careful about that, Leo. I do sense as well, the strong message is make sure that whoever that you're working so hard for deserves it. Okay, it's just a matter of reciprocity. Okay, in terms of your hopes and fears here, we do have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is someone who is very, very much, they've been through a lot and they're battle scarred, and now they have, insights about what they want from life. So through the process of trial and error and learning the hard way, this person has learned how to move forward in their lives in a way that is, more conducive for their own growth. So we have the tree in the middle, which indicates wisdom, okay? In the reverse position, this is basically not learning from those past mistakes and even allowing yourself to put yourselves in situations where you might potentially be taken advantage of, where you might be hurt, okay? So be careful about this. Now, in terms of the outcome, we do have the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands indicates to me a partnership. And when it's in the reverse position like this, it indicates a situation where a relationship is actually very, very difficult, where two people cannot work together, where two people are not meant to be. And instead of, difficult life circumstances holding them together or pulling them together or making the relationship come together or strengthening the bond, the life circumstances and the hardships are actually driving them apart because they're not meant to be together in the first place, okay? So this is greatly about a very one-sided relationship where one person expects the other person to accommodate them, to make all the sacrifices, all the concessions, and they're not doing anything in return. And in terms of, for those of you specifically dealing with another Leo, if you're dating another Leo, if you're dating another fire sign, and fire signs are another Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, I do feel that, this is pretty much if you started dating a Leo, this is pretty much where, these problems, these imbalances are becoming apparent, okay? If you're dating other signs, I feel that there are, especially water signs and earth signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I do sense that I feel like for a lot of you, imbalances in relationships are definitely going to come out, no matter who you're dating. And I do feel a lot of it has to do with the people that you're dating. They're not bad people, but I do feel that you're putting in way too much work and you're fighting so hard for this relationship because you're very devoted and you're very faithful, and you're trying to do things for everyone and you're trying to help everyone through all their problems because you're just very generous with your love and your time. And the other people are either not acknowledging it, not seeing it, or they're taking it for granted. So that's something that needs to be discussed in the relationship because you're wearing yourself out and you're feeling very emotionally and spiritually drained as a result of working for everybody else and not having the time and the space for yourself, or not having your cups refilled because you're just depleted, okay? Don't wear yourself out and don't wear yourself to the ground. So in terms of the other outcomes that we have the King of Wands here. And the King of Wands is a very, very enthusiastic energy in this spread. So the next time that, the other person comes in and demands your attention and things like that, you want to take a step back and you want to really reserve the energy that is left over for yourself. So don't jump into, solving other people's problems, solving one project after the other, and especially cut your losses, okay? The Five of Cups is greatly about cutting your losses, knowing how things are going to pan out and knowing when to cut your losses. This is not about, making sure that as long as I'm devoted, as long as I work hard, everything is going to pan out. Sometimes things are not meant to be. And if we are in it too deep, we talk ourselves into staying in it because that initial investment of our time, of our energy can never be regained. So this is more about cutting your losses, making sure the people are reciprocating, making sure they're worth it. Otherwise, cut your losses. Like I said, that initial loss of investment and time are things that we can never get back. So a lot of people rationalize and they tell themselves, I can push a little bit further because I've got nothing left to lose. Well, when you've got nothing left to lose and you're thinking to yourself that, this is like pretty much leading me to a dead end. Just withdraw and wait and save yourself the time and the energy. Okay, so just really be methodical. Yeah, so this is why the Ace of Swords are coming through, because I feel as if you're operating more from the heart and you're not thinking logically about how realistic it is to achieve some type of goal here. So I feel like it can extend across, all sectors of your life. But in terms of just, rationally having a blueprint, laying it out, and, giving yourself a time frame. If this doesn't work by this specific date, I'm going to withdraw and cut my losses. That would be the best thing that you can ever do for you. So just making sure that things are feasible, doable, and even that they're worth your time. That's going to go a long way for you, especially for the next 2 weeks. Okay, Leos? I do wish you all the, try to relax for the next 2 weeks. Don't push so hard, okay?